This is Bits of Listings to Leads, and this is our call for lenders. We do a lot of training for real estate agents and have for years, but we also have a lot of lenders that are working with us. And I think this is really designed to give you some ideas about how to use the system, and then also just sort of how to convey it and how to leverage it. So I think I want to start there in the beginning, because I know as lenders, a lot of you are looking at it and wondering, how can I convey this to other people? How do I introduce this to agents? And one thing right here, right up front, it says get buyers with or without listing. So what we are at Listing Solutions, we have a lot of tools. We have automated automation for real estate listings. We have a lot of tools for social media. We have a lot of tools for lead capture. And we also have a lot of tools to help you get more listings. And so if you think of those four things, right? Automated listing tools, social media, really just super robust in so many ways, and lead capture. Oftentimes, now we're talking here at the beginning of August 2022. Had we been talking 4 months ago, a lot of agents would tell you, I'm not really interested to talk to buyers, right? And I don't really care about social media. There's certainly a number of agents that don't care about social media. And even some people would tell you, I'm not into leads either. They're just not, right? But the market's changed. And I think everybody's got to kind of be a little more focused on what am I going to do to grow my business and to keep it up. And social media, lead capture, and buyers is going to be a part of that. Now, prior, whether we're talking today or we're talking 4 months ago, realtors definitely will listen to you if you can help them get more listings. And we have a lot to offer in that way. So what I'm going to show you now, this might sound similar if you've heard me talk about, what agents should do, but you kind of have to know this system in a way to be able to convey it, be able to kind of bring the value. And I think that's the point of working with Listings to Leads as a lender. And that is that, there are days where you can call all the agents you know and don't know and offer your rates. And I'm pretty sure that you've got competitive lenders in your market doing the exact same thing. Okay. So that has its own ROI, your time and investment in making those calls to find somebody who, wants to work with you. When you're working with Listings to Leads, you're really offering a different kind of value. Of course, you've got great rates, right? You're competitive, but do you have something of value that's going to help them? And this page that I'm showing you on YouTube, I'm going to send you in just a moment. If you find Listings to Leads, you go to the video page, you'll learn about our platform here. And you'll learn, like with Facebook ads, how to get buyers or sellers. Learn how to get great listings from Facebook ads. This is actually kind of a newer concept. Years ago, you could get great listing leads with home value ads. And that has not been so effective in the past few years, but we found a workaround and I cover it there. We've got a class here, top ways to get more listings in 2022, right? And so if you are able to watch this, understand it, and convey it, and unlock it for other agents, help them say, hey, here's where it is in this system. They're automatically creating the tools for you. We just got to get out there and use it. Well, that's going to work, right? That's going to really open the door for the conversation and probably really start the beginning to establish a much stronger business relationship. And that's really what all this is about. That's what you're trying to do, right? So there are 3 main classes that I think, or concepts that I would totally want you to understand. And that is Get Started, and that is Facebook ads, and the top ways to get listings. To really understand it, I would think that you'd look at a few of these, even if best ways to get listings from Facebook, new strategy to get high quality listings. They will get a little bit repetitive, but after you've done a few, you'll understand what we've got and you'll be able to have a nice conversation with your real estate partners. So I'm going to log in, not as myself, I'm going to log in as a lender client of ours. So I won't click through everything, but we definitely want you to see kind of some of the things that you'll want to use. So let's jump first into the ads section because there's some really useful stuff for you as a lender that realtors don't have access to. So when we click on ads, if you haven't done this yourself, the first thing it's going to tell you is connect to Facebook. So this lender has already been running ads, right? So he's already running ads, he's capturing leads, but for you, you'll have to connect, and then it'll say continues you and reference your business page, and then boom, it all starts to work, right? So at that point, you can run ads for listings, and you can run ads for landing pages, and you can run ads for PDF guides. Okay. So I'm going to click on PDF guides first because we've got, and this is just the easiest to understand. So we have lender PDF guides right here at the top. There are 11 of them. They're high level, talking about certain kinds of loans. If you got your own kind of PDF that you want to share, you can upload your custom one right here, or a rate sheet or something like that. And you can go kind of run an ad on it. But when it's here, let's just say you want to talk about jumbo loans, right? Now you can download it here and you will see that you, the lender, are on every page here. So it's really building your brand. But when you click create an ad, let's go here. Have a sip of coffee while it's doing its thing. This will be, this will be an ad where you can download a report on jumbo loans. And, if you want to customize this, like, you could double click in it and say, or loan. How much is a jumbo loan now? Is it like 575? I can't remember what it is, but I'm going to just put 575 if I can type. And, you can modify this if you want to run it, right? If you want to before you run it. Now, all you got to do is type in the name of the town, right? And you can expand the radius. It won't matter if you want to expand the radius. It just means more people are going to see it. But I do want to point out a couple of things here. And that is these kinds of leads can cost a bit of money. The cheapest leads to get for Facebook are leads on listings or ads on listings, right? So if you're marketing a listing. Now, since you're a lender, you probably don't have your own listings, but you can run ads on listings. I'm going to show you how in just a minute. But those are the cheapest kinds of leads, right? But you might not always have a listing. And so how can you generate leads? Well, this PDF report, it's a 5 to 6 page report, all written in-house. As I mentioned, you're on every page. This is a good way. So if somebody sees this on Facebook, they can go and download it. So let me kind of show you in case you're not too familiar with ads. So right now, I went to Facebook and I clicked on the newsfeed, right? People do this every day of the week. Like 70% of American adults spend 40 minutes a day here. And you'll notice that the first thing I see is pictures of my buddies' kids, right? And that's what you'd expect. You see your friends or whatever you're following. But always the second post is a sponsored ad. Okay, now this sponsored ad is from BMW motorcycles, right? But your ad is going to look just like this. It's going to sit right there, and everybody who's in this case, 30 miles of Tampa, is going to see that. Okay. And if they want to download it, you're going to get their name, email, and phone number pre-populated by Facebook. This is a great way to get leads. So that's the simplest way to do it. Maybe you want to customize this language over here. Maybe you don't, but you definitely want to type in a city. You can mess with the radius if you want. Oh, you might want to expand your budget. Now we default to $35, but you got to kind of watch what Facebook is charging sort of per lead. Sometimes it's as cheap as a couple bucks, $3, but sometimes it's $10. So if you're running an ad and they're charging $10 a lead and you got $35 on your budget, you're only going to get 3 leads. So test it out first, see how it works for you. You can always change that to 100, and that would last for a week and publish. And then once you hit the threshold of 100, it won't charge you anymore. The ad will just sort of end. So there is another thing that's really, I think I want you to think about. And that is, and this is just generally speaking, about advertising and also about social media, right? So what I've shown you here is, hey, run an ad and get some leads, right? That makes sense. You've probably heard that before. And you've also probably heard that video is important regarding social media. If you know anything about, if you follow social media at all, you'll probably know that TikTok has been around for a few years and it's kind of eating up traffic from Instagram and even chewing off traffic from Facebook. The challenge with TikTok is it's not designed for lead capture. However, it is taking eyes and eyeballs and branding and time away, and that's because video is important. And what I want you to realize is that we actually can see that, we can see that change, and we are making things available for you to create and use video, right? So over here is a blue button that says change image or video. If we click on that, we can go to, give it a second. We have content here. It says media from L to L. We've actually got video guides that you see. You notice here, here's a video here on jumbo loans. That's because we actually created an in-house video. Okay. And it's about jumbo loans. I recommend that you run that ad like this, static one time, see how you do, see how that ad performs. And the next time, run over here and go to video. Boy, it seems to really take a little while when I click that. And maybe try a video ad and see if that performs better. I can tell you this, Facebook sets the price of leads on on ads. So if you're running an ad with a static image, like a picture, or you're running an ad with the video leads are going to cost you less. That means the same ad budget is going to get you more leads when you use video. And that's because Facebook wants to give you the incentive of creating video. Okay. And fortunately for you, we have created the videos for you. All you got to do is click the button up here and let's just insert it and see what it looks like. It's going to pop the video into that ad so that when people are seeing this on the internet, it's not just a static picture, right? So to kind of give you a concept of that, we'll hop over here. This is a static picture. Would it not be cooler to have a video of this thing running down the road here in that super cool desert landscape? Well, now here is the video that we've already created for you. And you can't actually watch it here because it's what do you call it? But it's an 18-second video and it's got your message up here. So that's one way that I really think that you as lenders should be thinking about is that, listen, what you should know is video is really becoming the future of social media, right? And if you're going to be able to capture business, and I can say this, certainly I can say this with 100% accuracy for realtors, but I think also for lenders, you should have a social media strategy to one, build brand, and two, capture leads, right? So if you know that you have to do that because that's where everybody is hanging out on social media, they share the pictures of their family, they share their vacation pictures, they share their whatever they're eating, and me, whatever fun stuff I'm doing, I've always got it there. If that's what's happening in our society today, you need to have a way of building your brand there and capturing leads there. And that's exactly what we're talking about. And you now know, or hopefully you probably knew before, that video is going to be an important part of social media. And we've already got video created for you. Okay. Now, I also want to give you one more kind of curveball. And this is certainly true for realtors. And realtors already know this. And you may you may recognize what I'm about to tell you. A lot of realtors are realizing they need to make videos of themselves. They need to build trust. They need to build a brand. They need people to know them. So they need to whip out their smartphone and walk around and talk about the neighborhood or walk around and tell what's going on in the market. If you feel like you are in that same boat, like, hey, you want to give the state of what's going on in your local community and what's happening with mortgage rates, you can. So you'll notice that what I did here to get this video, I clicked on change video, right? I clicked on change image or change video. And what I didn't mention, but I want to point it out now, is that you can upload your own video. Now, most of you have got these super cool smartphones, and they almost all take high quality videos now. So if you want, you could just use this right here as a script and kind of change it, with your own sort of vibe and create that video. It doesn't need to be 18 seconds long. It could be 10 or 15 or even 30, and create it and then upload it on that upload button. And then boom, that will be right here. That alone is super cool. I'll tell you this, and this should totally be done by every realtor. And I'm going to tell you, like, here's a great kind of video to create for realtors, not for lenders, but for realtors. And the reason why I'm telling you this is because you want to bring value to realtors, right? That's going to strengthen your business, and that's going to your business together, and that's going to get you more business. That's the whole point of why I'm telling you all this. One of the great videos that I do see realtors feel pretty comfortable making is, hey, we sold a home and I got the homeowners in here signing contracts, and they're going to do a quick testimony of how awesome it was to work with me. You can record that on a smartphone, run an ad on a sold property. Hey, this home just sold, and here's what the people said about that. And I'm for sure that's going to do really well for their branding and their lead capture. And for you as a lender, it's going to do well for your relationship because you're really unlocking a ton of value for that realtor. So that's one kind of ad, running the PDF guide ads that we have already designed for you as a lender, right? And so that's just straight up. You don't have to even have an agent in your account. You just have to, do that. Now, what you may not know in your account is that you kind of have different packages of signing up a different number of agents, right? And that's typically how it starts. So it's 150 a month, and you can sign up 5 agents, all right? And each agent can bring their own listings, or they can borrow listings or whatever. And at that point, you've got listings in your account. So from there, you can run ads 2 different ways. I've clicked on the agents page here, and you can see that I can see the agent's listings right here. And I can click on that agent. This is Anna's listing. She's got 24. And if I click this way and I click market listing, you, the lender, the way that I'm clicking right now, can actually run the ad for the agent. And this, in this case, it's being run as the lender. But you can also change it if the agent has connected their Facebook so that you would run the ad as the agent, right? And so all you have to do is click create an ad. If we go over here back to let's go back this way. That was one way, by going via the agents. If I go here on the ads page, and I'll show you this, you can run ads on the same listings. Let's just wait a second for it to get there. But this time we have them kind of segmented by the agent name. Okay, so this one's just listed, and you can make the decision. Do you want to send the leads to the lender, or do you want to send the leads to the listing agent? So it kind of depends. I don't think many agents or lenders do it where they're sending leads to the agent if they're paying for the ads themselves. But you can. You just click create an ad, and let's click that there and see if we can go look at that. It basically pre-writes the ad for you, right? You would have to type in Irvington, the city where it's from, and where is it? Well, you get it. You pick your town, and You just run the ad, and this will capture leads. Now, I do want to point something out because there was that kind of concept, the concept of send the lead to the lender or send the lead to the agent. And this is usually something I'm going to kind of hit the brakes here and I'm go to the agent's profile. Okay. Now you have your own profile in your account, but the agents also have their own profile. And that's where you connect their social media so that their ads go to their social media accounts and stuff like that. But really, I think something that's really important that you want to do is this is the main kind of profile, right? The name, the office where they work, their phone numbers down here somewhere. But then their email, in this case, is Annabelle at her office. And it says send leads and send tools to. Okay. And you can also notice that Mike, the lender, is getting copied on all leads and tools. You should do that with every agent that you're in, especially in the very beginning. And this is why, because when you turn them on, you set up an account, you're going to need to get them into the system and connect all their social media and do all the things, right? And once that happens, things are just going to start happening and they're going to start getting tools. And they may not know what those tools are, right? They might be just a total surprise. But if you're copied on it, you're able to say, hey, did you see that you got that tool, right? That's from Listings to Leads, that great product that I found for you, right? Well, you're also, as you can see here, going to get copied on leads. And that is a big question, right? Because you might know that realtors quite often don't follow up with leads. And a lot of our lender clients are understand that they are going to jump in front of those buyer leads and pre-qualify. Make sure they're ready with a loan to really talk to the agent. Now, that is a really high value relationship that you're creating right there. If you're helping them run ads, which you can do in just a couple clicks like I've shown you, you can charge their credit card on Facebook to pay for those ads, but you're getting copied on the leads and you're jumping in front of those buyer leads. That's kind of really awesome because now you're saving a ton of time for the realtor. And they're talking to people who are pre-qualified and they're going to appreciate that, right? So that's just something about setup that I really recommend that you do. So we've talked a lot so far about ads. Is everybody kind of clear on that? And I'm going to talk about, meaning go ahead and put questions in the chat panel if you want. I'm going to kind of mention one thing about listings, which I didn't mention. And that is, as a lender, you can't add listings to your account. So I don't know your local MLS rules, but I kind of doubt you could even run an ad if you didn't have listings. So you would need to create any agent account here, and then you can add listings to agent accounts, right? Because lenders don't have listings. So you just need to remember that you're adding an agent up here, which is pretty simple: name, email, phone number, username. And once you do that, the agent's going to get notified. Okay. And you'll want to, if you are a lender, I definitely recommend you email me. My email is vince@listingstoleads.com and ask me for the 5-minute setup video, because that tells you in 5 minutes, click here, set this up, blah, 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 and connect. But that gets all their automation turned on, their social media connected, everything set. And then you can start adding listings and then things start happening. Okay. So let's go down the path though about how can we help agents with their marketing. Now, when we look in here and the listing hits the system, a lot of what I'm about to show you right here is automatically generated and automatically sent to the agent. And like I just mentioned, you're going to get a copy. So you're going to kind of find out, what's going on. I want to point out a couple of things that you should really be helping the agent do. And what I mean is, this is one of them is super simple and one is more challenging, but these are both such high value that you want to make sure an agent takes care of it. Now, when I click on market listing, the first thing it says is run an ad. That's the first thing you should do. Help the agent run the ad. Brand it to their business page on Facebook or brand it to yours. I think it's smarter to brand it to theirs. Send the leads to them because you're getting copied on every lead, right? Social media posts here, these are free posts and they work automatically. So as long as you're set the client right, the agent right, you're going to be good. Now, the nearby homeowner letter is something that is really one of the biggest, strongest tools for getting more listings. Okay. So you can imagine that if an agent has a listing, they most likely would want another listing, ideally in that market, right? Now, there are times where that's not the case, but more often than not, they totally would appreciate that. So this is a very simple letter that is just saying, hey, I've got a home for sale in your neighborhood. This is meant for door knocking. I recommend that you print this. You print maybe 100 copies and you set up a time to talk to that agent. Hey, would you like to do a walk, right? Do a walk in your neighborhood. If you've got a great listing and you want to find more listing, I've got a great tool to help you do this. And go join them and start kind of work with that. Or at least give this letter to them, right? But if somebody takes this piece of paper in their home and goes, here, it's going to drive to a single property website that we developed for it, which it's obviously going to capture leads. But the real power of this letter is that it says when this home is sold, it's going to affect your home value. So there are a number of people who are going to take this piece of paper into their home and type in this web address, which will drive them to this home value page that we've developed for your agent clients. And when they type in their address and their email address, they get their automated home value. And your agent now realizes there's somebody in the neighborhood where they're selling a home that is thinking about selling their home. These are the highest quality listing leads of all the tools that we generate. Okay. Now I want to remind you, now that I've said that there is a YouTube channel right here that covers a lot of topics. And I mentioned at the beginning of the call, top ways to get more listings in 2022 is an important call. And that letter that I just showed you is at the beginning. That is the number one tool for getting more listings. Now, I'm going to send this. Let's see if I can send this to everybody. I can't. Well, you'll just have to know, go look for listings to leads on YouTube and, go find them. But that's an important tool. When you start getting listing leads for realtors and, they start getting competent in closing those, you've got a business partner for life, literally. Now, there are a lot of tools here that we create, but I do think the Facebook ads is solid. The nearby homeowner is something that's huge. If you're working with an agent who has a large database, get them to copy this and blast it through their CRM. And then lastly, which I think is really important, not last, but we do print postcards and door hangers. And just like the letter I just showed you, on one side it says, hey, it's for sale. And on the back side, it says, hey, this is going to affect your home value. So again, and that's the thing, like if you're helping agents with print strategies, I definitely recommend you look at our tools, because when you think about print, and I don't know how long you've been lenders, and I don't know how long your realtors have been realtors, but I do know this: social media has not existed as long as print. And a lot of realtors know I have to have print in my business, right? They don't know why. It's just that it's one of the oldest forms of communication and they know to do it. But if you talk to a realtor and ask them about their ROI on print, their eyes just roll up right in the back of their head, because frankly, there is none. They just think I'm building my brand. I'm not getting phone calls. Nobody's really getting phone calls. Very rarely are you hearing that. Whereas on ours, we're driving people to online links where they can get answers to questions that they may have, right? Most print advertising is going to have a really cool picture of an agent and their phone number and say, hey, call me, right? Call me if you need help. And that is just such a quaint concept, but that is just not the reality when everybody's got a phone or a computer that they can do research for months with, right? And so our tools are offering them information, inviting them to research on our platform, which drives leads to your agents. So if you're talking to a realtor that has a print strategy in mind, they got a farm market they want to develop, get our postcards, get our door hangers, right? You notice we're embedding QR codes in some of these things. Everybody likes QR codes since COVID, so we're able to get more leads that way. This is what's going on in the market today. Now, the last thing regarding listings is sign writers. And I don't know if you're aware of this, but when you sign up as a lender, we give all of your agents unlimited text IVR codes, right? Now, a text IVR code is like text this number to that number for instant information. This is great for real estate advertising because the leads you get have phone numbers, right? And you know what property they're looking at, and you got their phone number. Now, I'm pretty sure, well, I know our agents love that kind of lead. They love phone numbers and they not like to wait. They're right there in front of my house. But what you should do, or what the agent should do, is text them, right? Text them. We're going to put, if you've got them connected to their CRM, they're going to get a drip campaign. But every week, text these people with kind of a message that's something like, hey, I see you're here. You're interested in a home. I'm working right now, but I want to make sure we're taking care of you. Can I help you? Is there a question? Something like that. There are also QR codes on some of the signwriters. So you're downloading the design, you can print it anywhere. A smart thing for you to do, let's say you've got 5 agents. And I mean, I know Michael here's got like nearly 100 agents in his account, but let's just say you got 5 agents and one of those people is really like solid, doing a lot of business and really focused. You might want to just go print one of these up and say, hey, you know what? I'd love to buy you a coffee, but why don't you take this sign writer and go put it on your sign? I printed it up for you. It was $20. Go hang it out there on your sign and let's see if we can get some leads for you. That number will stay with their account. Okay. So you generate that unique code for their listing. It will live in their account. So if they sell that home and they get another listing, you can reassign that sign writer to them. But that's a really high value kind of tool that's going to help their lead capture. Okay. Now we got all kinds of other tools here, and that's great stuff. Honestly, the more tools you're using, even if a virtual tour is designed to capture leads, right? And if, like I said earlier, this is the virtual tour, the agent is here, the lender is branded down here. I don't think Michael likes his photograph, so he doesn't have it in there. But then, this is a pan and zoom tool that is created for you, right? Created for the agent. Ideally, you're getting copied on all the buyer leads. And so you're going to be able to, create some value for yourself on that as well. So that's kind of the things that you want to make sure that I think that you as a lender are doing. Making sure you're copied on leads, helping them get buyer leads, getting in front of those leads. You've also, on the ad side, you've got separate PDF tools that you can do. As I mentioned earlier, you can also help people leverage video. I think video is tricky. You know what I mean? Well, it's tricky from a technical standpoint. We have made it incredibly easy, but it's tricky from a realtor and even a lender perspective. Like there are a lot of gurus out there, and there are a lot of real estate trainers and stuff telling you, oh, you got to get video and you got to do it like this. And you got to do like all the time. Right. And oh my God. And they're imagining that realtors are comfortable doing that. And I know they're not, because I know that probably 50% of all realtors are not even comfortable being on social media. Right. So to imagine that they are going to be comfortable knocking out videos of themselves, that's a heavy lift. That's a real dreamy kind of concept. Right? There are realtors who are, and that's great. But what I want to let you know, and what you should sort of know, and when you feel comfortable conveying this, is that it's going to get higher results for the agents. It will even get higher results for you as a lender if you're doing it yourself. And that's because that's where the whole market is pointing to. Short video clips, not two, not 2 minute long, just everything is short because everybody is ADD today. And all the major platforms are going in that direction. Okay. So if you're talking to somebody who recognizes that, make sure you can convey that listings to leads can help them leverage video, help them incorporate video in ads, help them incorporate video in social media. That's really what is, it's kind of the future. It's the future of social media. And frankly, broad brushing things, social media is the dominating part of the internet, right? I think more people spend time on their phones going through ridiculous apps than they do spending time going on the computer. So you need to be effective in building your brand and capturing your leads there. And that's what this whole platform is about. Okay. There are a lot more tools to listings to leads, but I wanted to speak to you about the tools that you as lenders can use. Are there any questions about what I've discussed today, or are there any questions that you have in general about the platform? And since I don't see any, I'm going to give you a couple of tips that I think are always important. On the dashboard, there is a listing presentation. Now, some agents intuitively understand, like, whoa, this is an awesome platform, and I'm going to go and talk about this, not as listings to leads, so just all the marketing tools that I use. Now, we really should clean up this page. I apologize. This is back from the day when Scott thought that realtors like to read. And I know they don't like to read. So it's like 10 times longer than what it needs to be. What you need to do is watch this video. This conveys how one of our top agents presents our system. And if you're able to kind of send this link or something and say, hey, just check this out, it's really difficult to compete against all the automation that listings to leads does. It's really hard to compete. And the only people who can actually do that spend hours a week, many hours every week, doing all the things that we do. Whereas with listings to leads, we do it automatically, right? It's all automated. An agent does not need to tell a homeowner that. An agent just needs to go through the listing presentation. Here's everything I am doing for you to sell your home at the top price. It's very difficult to compete in a listing presentation against our platform. That's why I wanted to point out the listing presentation over there so you go see it, and introduce that when you start introducing the what do you call it? The platform to an agent. Now, one more thing, and I wish I had it here, and we got to get it in as a handout on this. I have, if you email me, Vince at Listings to Leads, I have a new PDF guide that we've created for your agents. Because one of the things that lenders have been asking me is, listen, I like your product. I want to introduce it to people, but what do I have to give them that can open the door, right? We have just created, I think it's a 6-page PDF. It's a really light read, like you're going to read it in 30 seconds, but it's listing a lot of the top tools, the major points of the platform. And it's great, right? It's just great. We're going to improve it probably in the next couple of weeks, but it's really solid right now. If you're out there talking to people right now and you want it, email me at Vince at Listings to Leads, and I'll send you a copy of it. And as we improve it, we'll blast it out to everybody. So I don't see any more questions. Thank you for joining me today. Make sure as you're getting people added, when you're adding an agent to your account, this is the last thing I'll say. When you're adding an agent to an account, You do it up here. After you've added the agent, make sure and go to support. If the agent has listings, just say, hey, would you get the listings for the new agent I just added and add them to the mastermind group? Okay. Get agents in the mastermind group and make sure we're getting their listing into the system, into their account, right? But you want to make sure that you're getting all the automation on. And just as an aside, we're here in the mastermind group, and this just came in, I guess, last night. And somebody's asking, what's your lowest cost per lead, right? And somebody's saying, I'm getting some at $1.18, $1.18 a lead. Okay. You talk to your realtor friends about how much they're spending per leads, because I talk to people who are spending like hundreds or thousands a month for like 20 or 40 leads, right? Which is insane, but that's just what the world is like. We are not that kind of company. We've got a really great platform. We can help people build their brand and build a lead database if they just use the platform. Oh, I do see a question here. Sorry, it seems like it's weird. Can you send me the download? Let's see if I can get that. Yeah. I'm going to try and copy this, but I don't know if it's going to let me do that. So email me at vince@listingstoleads.com if I can't get this, because it doesn't look like I can get it. And then just say, hey, send me the lender PDF. Thanks, everybody, for joining me. Enjoy the rest of the week. Get in the mastermind group if you haven't been there. If you have questions, always just let me know. Bye-bye.